Hey, welcome back. Yeah, you guys hit the 100 like goal on the last video, so you're going to be getting some predictions for this card. And also remember to check the description. I heard a couple people saying like, "What's this prediction? What's that prediction?" You know, but yeah, if a fight falls out, check the description of this video and check the well, like a new fight comes up, a fight falls out. Again, check the description, check the comment section because I'll put the video right there. And also, I do post it. I don't hide it. It'd be out there. So all you have to do is really look at my video. So it's not even a case you had to look at the description or the comment section. But after the card is over, I do put it in unlisted. So you will still have to check the description and for the link to the video once the card has passed. But before the card happens, when it really matters, so you can see what my prediction is on a fight that changed. The video is gonna be right there. Probably one of my most recent videos of that new fight change or that new fight that has been put on there. So you ain't gonna have to do much to. What am I saying? You ain't gonna have to ooh la blah. You aren't gonna have to do too much looking. Yeah, you ain't gonna have to do too much looking. It'll be there. But after the fight, if you want to find the old prediction for a fight that fell out and then I had to make I guess a quick pick of it, then check the full card prediction video, and that updated fight will be in the description or comment section. And if the main event changes, then I'll probably do a whole full card prediction video again. But you don't really have to ask me. Just check my channel. I got plenty of videos. And as a matter of fact, it's going to be near the top of it or at the top. Another thing you can check is my this week's prediction, which I still do. And that's why I have all the videos you need to watch for the week. My prop of the week, my, any little quick picks I have to make in the full card prediction video. So probably about 3 to 4 videos on average a week that's going to be in my this week's predictions thing. So it's not you're not going to get those little reaction videos and me yapping about this, but predictions. Everything really prediction, betting involved is going to be in this week's predictions. And it's going to be there easy to see. And I might throw in some boxing I did this week or last week. But whatever. But check this week's predictions and also check the comment section in the description. And really just check my channel. Like I'm posting like less than half the videos I used to post. So it's easy to find my content. It's not buried no more. Because I post like, 4 or 5 videos on average a week versus like 30 or 20 I used to post. So it should never be an issue for you to find my videos. And if you're just lazy, turn on my notifications again. I only post like 4 or 5 videos a week, maybe 7. So it's nowhere near what I used to post. So I ain't going to blow your phone up too much. So just feel free to turn on your post notifications. And that'll make it even easier. But yeah, again, you guys got it to 100 likes. So I'm going to give you my best. How many I'm going to give you? I'll give y'all 2. I'll give you like a underdog. And I'll give you a parlay. So for this card. So thanks for getting this to 100 likes. And another thing I'll say, this is not all my bets. This is just some of my bets. Since you guys got it to 100 likes, that's just some of my bets. I might say 200 gold, 300 gold, and y'all can get all my bets for the week. But for just 100, I'll give you some of them. So I'll give you 2 of them. And I think these 2 should hit. So like a 5-leg, 6-leg parlay and a money line underdog. So yeah, you guys got it to 100 likes. The last full card prediction. Get this video to 100 likes. And I'll drop, next week I'll drop some more bets. So let's keep the streak going. Thanks for getting there. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. So yeah, keep liking the channel, keep supporting me, and I'll keep posting bets as well. And yeah, so y'all got it to 100 likes. And let me do that again. The finger is off the screen. Here's the bet. All right. And now on to the predictions. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the full card of fights for UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Almabayev. So yeah, let's just get right into things. Full card predictions, predicting all the fights for UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Almabayev. And yeah, let's get to the first fight. First fight we have in the featherweight division, we got Ricardo Ramos versus Chepe Mariscal. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going high confidence Chepe Mariscal to beat Ricardo Ramos. I feel like Ramos is a solid fighter. You always gotta worry about that. Should I go high? I'll go high. It is what it is. I'll go high confidence. But yeah, you always gotta worry about that spinning back elbow. He kind of landed on a couple people. But outside of that, like, he's a solid fighter. He has good grappling, okay striking. Matter of fact, should I? I'll go average. Excuse my subtraction of confidence. So average confidence here. Chepe Mariscal. You got a little bit of concerns here, but I might play like a high confidence, but I'll say average here. Average confidence Chepe Mariscal to beat Ricardo Ramos. Yeah, Ramos got to worry about a spinning back elbow. Chepe can be a little bit negligent on defense, so it's a chance it could happen. But overall, I feel like Chepe Mariscal is just a much better fighter. Has much more dog in him. You know, he has good scramble ability. Ramos is an okay striker, not very tough, not very durable. Solid BJJ, should have the better BJJ skills. But again, Chepe Mariscal, his issue is not grappling. He can scramble very well, push the pace on Ramos, break him down. And I see him stopping him, I'm going to say like second round. It's really just not allow Ramos to take him down and lay on him too much or hold position too long. Be the scramble well and constantly put the pressure and volume on Ramos and break him. And I see a second round stoppage for Chepe Mariscal. So in this one, I got Chepe Mariscal, average confidence to beat Ricardo Ramos in the second round via TKO. So in this one, Chepe Mariscal via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, we got Douglas Silva de Andrade versus John Castaneda. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence John Castaneda to beat Douglas Silva de Andrade. Castaneda is like, a good bit younger. I think like 32, 33. Andrade is like 38, 39, pushing 40. Not a good age for bantamweight, but he's still a dog. He's still very muscle, still very strong, still hits very hard, still a pretty well-rounded fighter. He'll give him a good test, but I got to go John Castaneda. I just think, I think Castaneda got dog, and I don't think it's like a case where, some of these other fights Castaneda has lost. It's been guys that, maybe had a little bit more dog in one fight, and the other guy was just technically so much more clean than him. And that's not the case with Douglas Silva de Andrade. I feel like he matched up pretty well, but Castaneda is younger, and I feel like this is a fight that's not going to really come down to necessarily power, just individually power or this and that. I feel like they both have decent enough experience. Andrade has more experience, but I feel like really what this fight comes down to is more overall. I'm making up words and connecting them in weird ways, but overall, I feel like it's going to come down to who's able to push and who's able to grind more. And Castaneda is a grindy, gritty fighter who's going to bite down the mouthpiece and push the pace for 15 minutes if needed. I see this going to a decision. Stoppage is definitely on the table, but a fight where Castaneda is, I guess, not really so young, but he's kind of still in his prime, whereas Andrade is on the end of his rung. I think Castaneda is going to be able to push the pace, and that's going to be the biggest thing in this fight. Who can push the pace? Who can control the fight? Who can control the tempo? Who can start first more? Start the exchanges and end the exchanges better, and that's going to be Castaneda. So I see Castaneda just outworking, outgrinding Douglas Silva de Andrade to a decision victory. So in this one, I have John Castaneda via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the flyweight division, we got Charles Johnson versus Ramazan Temirov. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Charles Johnson to beat Ramazan Temirov. Yeah, Ramazan Temirov, we still don't really know about him like that, to be honest. But I got to go Charles Johnson. Temirov is not really a grappler. He's a striker. Johnson, when you look at how he loses fights or has lost fights in the UFC, probably with like 4 of whatever 5, or like 90% of his fights he lost in the UFC have been people that look to take him down and control him. And even that hasn't really been consistent lately. He's on like a 3 or 4 fight winning streak, maybe 5. He's on a streak, the best streak of his UFC career. And I do think he's a much better striker than Temirov. I picked Temirov in his fights, and I was, happy, I guess, with the performance on paper. But definitely watching some of his fights, he just really be swinging very wild. It's uncontrolled. I mean, it's clean enough, but against when you would put that against really elite strikers in the division or any division or any sport really that contains strikers, it's pretty sloppy. Like he just be swinging, like he just be committed to everything and just swinging for the fences with his shots. Like I said, he might have a good read of it, but the fact that you just putting everything into all your shots is not even like being really setting it up. It's just not a good look for him, to be honest. And Charles Johnson's a very skilled striker. I think he's a much better boxer than he'll be much longer, much taller, much more experienced. He's coming in here as an underdog, and he's been the underdog in just about every single fight he has been in, and he has been shining in these underdog spots. I could see a late stoppage for Charles Johnson. I really could see it, but I'll say decision. I think Timirov's going to come out hot, maybe even clip Johnson early, but I feel like it's going to be the other fight Johnson had in his winning streak where, he had a rough first round, but he was able to rally, use his experience, and his cleaner technique prevailed over the fight. And I feel that could be the case. I'm hoping that doesn't even have to be the case. But ultimately, I see Charles Johnson as being able to clean a striker, more economical, longer, much better fundamentals. and, extending Temirov and making him pay for his sloppiness and beating him to a decision victory here. So, in this one, I have Charles Johnson via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the women's flyweight division, we got Andrea Lee versus JJ Aldrich. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence JJ Aldrich to beat Andrea Lee. Could go average, but Andrea Lee, low-key, is a very solid fighter. Her record might not show, but she's a very solid fighter. And she's very live here, but I had to go with JJ Aldrich. It's hard to go with a fighter who's like, on 5-fight winning streak, even though she barely lost her last fight, barely by the slimmest of margins. Maybe not getting taken down here, or maybe getting the takedown there. Like, lost the fight by a slim margin. Against the fighter she already beat by slim margins in the past. But got to go Aldrich. I think she's a younger fighter. She's not on that bad momentum. And, yeah, I'm going to be honest. This is a momentum pick. This is not like, oh, Aldrich is striking so clean and Andrea Lee is striking so bad, or Andrea Lee has no takedown offense and Aldrich is such a great offensive grappler. Like, it's not really a great on paper, easy to read. More so, the way you read the fight is momentum. I see it going the distance. I think that's pretty safe. I think that's pretty safe to say that this fight goes the distance. I think they're both real skilled striker. I think they're both pretty durable. Neither fighter really offensively grapples so much. Lee does have kind of weak takedown defense for the most part. But Aldrich doesn't really have aggressive takedowns or such phenomenal offensive grappling, to be honest. So this fight, the real confident thing to be in that the fight will probably go over and probably go the distance. But yeah, I go Aldrich. I think she's a little bit younger. She's a little bit fresher. She's not riding like 5-fight losers on a 5-fight lose. She's not riding a 5-fight losing streak. That's what I was trying to say. She's not riding a 5-fight losing streak. She does have better head movement, and she is overall more balanced striker. I feel like Andrea Lee is a very, dangerous offensive striker, but I feel like defensively she could be very negligent. Barely moves her head. Is very stiff, very square a lot of times. And she's always open for the jab, and I think Aldrich does have a good jab, and she can work behind that. And just have the cleaner offense, cleaner defense. Just be the more fundamentally sound fighter overall. And I think she beats Andrea Lee in a close decision victory. So, in this one, I have JJ Aldrich via decision. Now to our next fight. We have in the featherweight division, we got Lucas Almeida versus Danny Silva. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Danny Silva to beat Lucas Almeida. And Lucas Almeida, he always kind of got like a little bit of inkling of upset in him. Always a little bit. But I think Danny Silva is a very solid, talented fighter and a multifaceted fighter. One thing about Almeida, he's definitely in the category of one-dimensional. And I think Danny Silva can win this fight purely on the feet, purely in the grappling, or a mixture of both. And I think he can get a stop. Matter of fact, I'm going to say stop, like second round TKO. I think he's going to mix up very well and be able to get the stoppage on Almeida. He's going to mix the wrestling, mix the striking, and have Almeida guessing and be able to break him down. And whether it be like a case he catches him on the feet, then finishes him on the ground, or whether the case that he mixes up on the feet and then drags him to the ground and then finishes him on the ground. Either way, I see this fight getting stopped in the second round via TKO for Danny Silva. I just think he's just too big of a talent, too dangerous in all the areas, and too multifaceted for a one-dimensional fight like Almeida. And also, Danny Silva is not a small featherweight. I think he has a good size to him, and he has already showed his skill against a very well-rounded fighter in Cutelaba, who I think is a much better fighter, much more fundamental overall than Almeida. So I'll go Danny Silva here to be able to mix it up and get the stoppage via TKO in the second round. So in this one, I got Danny Silva via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the flyweight division, we got Montana De La Rosa versus Luana Carolina. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Luana Carolina to beat Montana De La Rosa. But yeah, I'm going low confidence Luana Carolina. I'm playing around now. Now I'm getting tongue tied, but yeah, low confidence Carolina to beat De La Rosa. Yeah, Carolina so far in her career has shown to be a pretty good counter grappler. She's been sub like once by Lispy, like when she first came to the UFC, and then other than that, she got like knocked out. I think she maybe lost one other striking matchup, but for the most part, it has been kind of strikers, or it was like 1-1. But the submission loss was much further back, and against really a multifaceted fighter. She didn't lose to a wrestler. She so far has been pretty good against wrestlers. I think she's like undefeated against people that try to wrestler grapplers. Like purely like wrestler grapplers, she has been good against them. And Montana De La Rosa definitely falls in more to the one-dimensional grappler. She's been working on the striking, but I'm still not super impressed. And I feel like if you were to try to lean the angle for her to win fights, you would have to say wrestling would have to be heavily involved. You wouldn't say, oh, De La Rosa, she's going to win this fight because of her striking. You would never really say that. And I think Carolina can address the wrestling and use her striking. And also her grappling has been improving offensively and defensively. So I think she can defend the takedown. If she does need to get it back to her feet, she can do that. Then she'll be the longer, more technical fighter on the feet. And I think she could definitely bust De La Rosa with her length and her jab. And I got to see her addressing the grappling and then just out-striking her to a decision. Competitive fight, but I think Carolina, again, will do a good job addressing the grappling and be the much more efficient striker. And I definitely think it will be visible, too. I think De La Rosa has a very bad tendency to get bust up in the face, especially from the jab. And I think Carolina will be landing jabs and front kicks and knees to the body. Maybe get a stoppage, but I say decision here with Carolina addressing the grappling and then using her length and her striking skills to outstrike De La Rosa to a decision victory. So in this one, I have Luana Carolina via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in the heavyweight division, we got Austin Lane versus Mario Pinto. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going average confidence, Mario Pinto to beat Austin Lane. And Lane is making improvements, but do I really feel like he can truly make a turnaround? Not really. I got to go Mario Pinto here. I think he has just enough grappling to be able to address the grappling of Lane. It might be some rough spots here. Might be. It could be an early stoppage. It could be a second round stoppage. But I think Mario Pinto has the grappling enough to either get the early stoppage or, if he needs be, maybe a little bit of rough patch in the first round. But Lane, when somebody can really get back to their feet and have sufficient grappling, he doesn't have the cardio. He doesn't have the durability. And I think Pinto can find those opportunities over 15. In the span of 15 minutes, he could find those opportunities. I really think he just needs like 8 minutes at most, maybe 9. I'm gonna say maybe like 9 minutes at most. Like 3 minutes into the second round at most to knock out Lane. And I'll lean to that. He's a big young fighter with a lot of talent, pretty high ceiling. Definitely raw, when you're this raw, there's definitely potential to get upset, but I think he has enough skills, enough well-roundedness to be able to address Lane's wrestling and striking and be able to knock him out. I'm going to say like early second round TKO. Maybe kind of fill him out in the first round, maybe give him a takedown, and Lane gonna try to clinch a hold for dear life in the first round. Barely get anything off and barely get any control, real control. And then, but probably get hurt towards the end of that first round, come off the stool shaky in the second round, and then Pinto gonna smell blood and just really put it on him and get him out of there early second round. So in this one, I have Mario Pinto via second round TKO. Now to our next fight. We have in the lightweight division, we got RD Haqparast versus Esteban Ribovics. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence, Esteban Ribovics to beat RD Haqparast. And I know a lot of people like this going to be their lock of the week or whatever, but it's okay. I'm okay with going low here. A win's a win. If it wins, it wins. If it just like if I go lock with him and he loses, lose. So low confidence for me is good enough for Esteban Ribovics here. He's a solid fighter, but I'm still not fully sold on him. He's a great striker. His grappling's come along okay enough. And Haqparast, to me, from what I've seen, is definitely still the more well-rounded fighter, but I haven't really seen Haqparast really have a great, successful grappling approach in the fight yet. I've seen him have good counter wrestling, but offensive wrestling, I haven't really seen that much from him. Striking matchup, Esteban Ribovics is definitely the better, more technical striker, more lethal striker overall. But yeah, tough fight between two solid fighters, but I think Ribovics gets it done. Again, I think he'll be able to address the grappling that Haqparast brings. He doesn't really bring much grappling, to be honest, as far as success historically, and I think Ribovics will be able to address it the bit that he does have, and just be the much more fluid, much more technical striker and land up more effective shots. And I'll say late second round TKO for Esteban Ribovics. I think once he starts to figure out Haqparast and start to really accumulate damage on Haqparast, I think he'll be able to put him out of there late second round. So in this one, I have Esteban Ribovics via second round TKO. And we got like 4 more fights. Next fight we have in the welterweight division, we got Danny Barlow versus Sam Patterson. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence Danny Barlow to beat Sam Patterson. And really, we look at Danny Barlow's last fight, especially after seeing Vertinian or whatever his name is lose so bad to what's his name, Austin Vanderford. The fight I called to go Vanderford way, and I bet it too. So I'm not on the side of people that were betting Vertinian for no reason at all, but. Yeah. But yeah, Danny Barlow did not look good against Vertinian. But again, style matchup. Vertinian is a striker. Barlow's a striker. So it's not like Barlow's going to go out there and wrestle him. So it's a striker versus striker matchup. But still, it's not a good look. He was out there, and you can argue that he lost that fight. He was out there just looking for a big overhand the whole time. Not even setting it up at all. He looked very amateurish in his last fight. He got by, got a win, but he looked very amateurish in his last fight. And that's a concern. And Sam Patterson is more experienced, more well-rounded. And that could be a problem. But I will lean Danny Barlow. I feel like Sam Patterson still has a glass chin. He did kind of, it's not as bad because he's at 170 now, not at 155. So his chin is a little bit better here. But I think Barlow's going to learn from that last fight, make the adjustments, and not just be so telegraphed this time, hopefully. But again, low confidence, probably no bet. Matter of fact, I ain't going to bet on this one. Maybe the under. Maybe. But other than that, I probably ain't going to bet on this one. Or maybe I might, I don't know. I'll see. I'll see. But most likely not a bet. Definitely not no money line on Barlow. And I think he's a way too big favorite last I checked. But yeah, I'll go Barlow here. Sam Patterson is definitely a very live threat here. Definitely the more experienced, more well-rounded fighter. But I think Barlow will make the adjustments. I think he's the faster, bigger, more athletic fighter, and he does got that power. And all it takes is a little bit of fine tuning, and he can continue to be a problem. And I think he'll be able to, fill out the fight a little bit, probably a little bit of a rough start, a little slow start. But I think once he starts finding that range and set it up, I think he'll be able to connect on with Patterson. I think Patterson will be able to hold up to his power. And I see Barlow stopping Sam Patterson in the middle stages of the second round. So in this one, I have Danny Barlow via second round TKO. Now to our next fight, we have in the featherweight division, we got William Gomis versus Hyder Amil. And how do I feel about this one right here? Is I'm going low confidence William Gomis to beat Hyder Amil. And yeah, I still do not really know where William Gomis' ceiling is at just yet. We're still trying to get the fighter, gauge the fighter. Well, I'm saying we, like, who is we? Me? You mean we and me? Yeah, just me. But still trying to gauge him. But I go William Gomis here. He's a longer, lengthier fighter. I feel like he has the higher ceiling. Hyder Amil has definitely been coming out here with a killer instinct. He's definitely been on a tear of sorts. But I do think William Gomis is the overall more technical fighter. And I'll lean to a decision here for William Gomis. I think this will be another close fight, probably like a split decision. Hyder Amil coming out strong, but William Gomis has been able to stay in the fight and then been able to, carry the momentum upwards after the first round. I can see him winning all three rounds, but I feel like it's going to be like Hyder Amil coming out aggressive, trying to trade, trying to make the fight close and swing and connect on Gomis, but Gomis trying to fight long, landing kicks from distance, front kicks, high kicks, jab. Hyder Amil trying to close that distance, trying to crack him. Gomis been a time up, land knees to the body, land elbows and stuff. But, also Hyder Amil when he gets on his side trying to scoop him and slam him to the ground. But again, a very close fight, maybe even very similar to his last fight. But William Gomis, once again, have been able to weather the storm and better navigate the fight as it goes on and upticks as his opponent starts to downtrend and wins yet another close decision victory. Yeah, yet another close decision victory win for William Gomis. So, in this one, I had William Gomis via decision. Now to our next fight, we have in our co-main event, a very weird co-main event. We got in the middleweight division, we got Cody Brundage versus Julian Marquez. It's weird because both of these guys have no business being in the co-main event. Marquez is like on a 2 or 3 fight losing streak, coming off a very bad loss, maybe longer. Brundage is very inconsistent. I guess, maybe they rewarded him for doing, I guess, okay against Bo Nickel. I guess that's what they rewarded him for, but either way. But yeah, in this one I'm going Cody Brundage, low confidence to beat Julian Marquez. Cody Brundage is younger. I feel like he has more upside. He's obviously not coming off of getting knocked out. And Julian Marquez's main style revolves around. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go Brundage by stoppage. Low confidence, Brundage by stoppage. Brundage does got power, and Marquez's chin has kind of turned into paper mache at this point. And I think Brundage still has enough chin. Also, I think he'll be motivated by the fact that he did just fight Bo Nickel. He did have some success in that fight, and he is younger and blah blah. He gonna see some of the people he's beating and having success, and like, matter of fact, the guy he slammed knocked out Marquez. Not to say that that's such a MMA math thing, but I'm just saying you can see people that you beat other people that you're fighting and other people that you fought and had success against finding wins. Like I think he knocked out Trayshawn Gore as well, and Gore is on like a 2-fight winning streak. So he's saying people that he's beat, he has success, and he definitely doesn't want to be left behind. Whereas Marquez, the people that he's beat like aren't really even in the UFC no more. He definitely had a moment where he was a solid fighter, but it's been years since he's really been a solid fighter. He's definitely live here, but it's not like Marquez has ever really been a super technical fighter. He's a fighter that will not a super technical wrestler, not a super technical striker, but he is a warrior. Why am I saying like warrior? Warriors come out to play, yeah. But yeah, he's like a warrior. He'll go out there, again, not be super technical or anything. He's solid enough. Like, he can scramble. He can defend some takedowns. He could take one. He could give one. Or at one point, he could take one and give one. But at this point, like, he can't take it no more. He could try to give it, kind of dish it out, but he can't take it no more. And that was a big part of his whole style. And now, again, with his chin not being no more and his confidence definitely taking a hit with all these losses, I got to go Cody Brundage, the younger, I guess, hungrier fighter with, I guess, the less worse momentum. And Brundage has power. He's not the most technical fighter either. I think he should be the better wrestler on paper. And I think he's more durable right now. And I think he hits harder. And he got more life in him. And I say sloppy fight, but Brundage wins it. Probably starts to win the wrestling battles. You know, back and forth a little bit. But then Brundage is able to connect on Marquez. And Marquez just starts to get, you know, yeah, probably close fight. Maybe Marquez even leading early. But I think once he feels some power come back at him, you're going to start to see him get tentative or get buckled a little bit. And then from there, Brundage probably get a takedown and probably be able to finish him off with some ground and pound. And I'll say like third round, but probably a little back and forth, sloppy, low tier fight. But Brundage just having more juice in him, been able to extend him, connect him, break him, and stop him in the third round via TKO. So in this one, I got Cody Brundage via third round TKO. Now to our main event, we have in the flyweight division, we got Manel Kape versus Azul Almabayev. And how do I feel about this one right here? I'm going low confidence Manel Kape to beat Azul Almabayev. And yeah, Manel Kape, low confidence, beat Azul Almabayev. And Almabayev does have a decent style for Kape. You know, he has okay striking. He's durable. He has the winner mentality. Most importantly, he goes for a lot of takedowns. And Kape, that has been an issue with Kape. It can make him tentative. But it's really like basically a second chance for Kape. Like, Mokaev was a fight that could have got him a title shot and would have got him a title shot, but he came up short in that fight. And I think, was that a 3-round or 5-round fight? I think it was like a 3-round fight. I don't think it was 5. But either way, a title eliminator that he came up just short in. Now he's getting a similar style matchup. He's getting a similar guy that's been pushed. But I don't think he's as good as Mokaev or as promising as Mokaev. But again, roughly similar fighter, roughly similar. And probably going to have a roughly similar approach. But roughly not the same success. So I think Manel Kape's gonna make the adjustments from that last fight he had. Well, not his last fight, but his last semi-title eliminator. Defend the takedowns better, let his hands go more, not be so timitive. I said, what? I'm making the words timitive. Yeah, not so tentative, not so timid. I combined the two words. But yeah, not so tentative, not so timid. Defend the takedowns well enough, get back to his feet well. And let his hands go. Let his hands go in combination. I think he's the much better striker, much more experienced fighter. He's been a champion at a major organization in Risen that has I think, what they call it, featherweight or bantamweight over there. Either way, one of those weight classes has a lot of good talent. And he has fought a lot of good talent, beat a lot of good talent. And he has, over here in the UFC, he has fought a lot of talent, beat a lot of good talent. And he has fought at like pretty much a championship level for a good number of years now, even without the belt. So, yeah, when you look at some of his losses, he lost to Pantoja, who's the champion. And he lost to he lost to good people. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be so willing to lose another fight in the same fashion. Now he has 5 rounds to do it. And yeah, I think Almabayev's gonna have good success with his takedowns, but I think Kape's gonna do a good job to scramble back to his feet and mix his shots together very well. And ultimately, I think he breaks Almabayev down. And I think he's gonna get like I'm gonna say third round TKO. I don't think he's gonna need the 4th and 5th for him to get the stoppage. I think Almabayev will come out aggressive with the takedown early. Maybe not as aggressive early. He probably come out with some strikes early to try to set up takedown. But once Kape gets a feel of his striking and start to count his striking and start to shut the takedowns down or get back to his feet, and Almabayev starts to, wear those body shots, wear the damage, I think Manel Kape's going to be able to materialize, now I'm messing my words, materialize a stoppage. So, yeah, I think Manel Kape will be able to address the grappling, pick his shots well, throw in combinations, work the body. And again, he's going to make it count this time. He's not going to be allowing Azul Almabayev to dictate the pace of the fight. He's not going to allow that to happen again. At least not against this guy. And I think he gets a 3rd round stoppage via TKO. Again, I think he's going to be able to shut the wrestling down eventually, address it enough, accumulate body shots, and throw in combinations and break down Almabayev and stop him in the 3rd. So, in this one, I have Manel Kape via 3rd round TKO. And so that concludes my fight predictions for let me run through it real quick. So, from the bottom to the top, champion Mariscal via 2nd round TKO. John Castaneda via decision. Charles Johnson via decision. JJ Aldrich via decision. Danny Silva via 2nd round TKO. Luana Carolina via decision. Mario Pinto via second round TKO. Esteban Ribovics via second round TKO. Danny Barlow via second round TKO. William Gomis via decision. Cody Brundage via third round TKO. And last but not least, Manel Kape via third round TKO. And yes, so that concludes my fight predictions for the 4 card fights for UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Almabayev. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace out.